Hello America, and welcome to another video. Today I'd like to talk about a new development in the ongoing Michael Cohen Donald Trump saga. Michael Cohen is suing not necessarily Donald Trump, but the Trump organization. He has filed a lawsuit, so I'd like to go over this, discuss basically what the lawsuit is all about, and just sort of dive in here. So, as the headline says, Michael Cohen sues the Trump organization. So, as we all know, Michael Cohen is President Trump's, Donald Trump's former personal attorney, and he is suing not necessarily, again, Donald Trump specifically, but the Trump organization, which, of course, Donald Trump is certainly the, head of. And basically, what this lawsuit focuses on, what this lawsuit centers around, is the allegation that after Michael Cohen began cooperating with federal authorities, the Trump organization failed to live up to its agreement that it had made with him to pay his legal bills relating to all of the work that he was doing for the organization, and also to indemnify him from, that work that he was doing. So that is what Michael Cohen is saying the agreement was that he had with both Donald Trump and the Trump organization. And basically he's saying that they have failed to live up to that agreement. He's actually seeking $1.9 million in legal fees related to the work that he did for the Trump organization. So this all stems from basically failure of the organization to pay his legal fees for work that he basically said that he did. Now he's also seeking an additional $1.9 million that he owes as part of a criminal sentence that he actually received in 2018, again stemming from the work that he was doing with the Trump organization. And he states that the organization agreed to indemnify him, so he feels that they owe him not only the $1.9 million in legal fees, but also the additional $1.9 million that he has to pay basically as part of his criminal sentence. Now, as we all know, starting in 2017, multiple investigations were launched of, the Trump organization, and also Michael Cohen and his relationship with Donald Trump, the work that he did for Donald Trump, centering around things like, payoffs to Stormy Daniels, and some of the other things as well. Also, the whole, collusion with Russia, what was involved there. So there were multiple investigations, a federal investigation, obviously, Robert Mueller's, Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation, but also the state of New York and the Manhattan District Attorney's Office were also investigating Michael Cohen. So there were multiple investigations all at one time. And basically Cohen states that he accumulated extensive legal bills basically relating to all of these investigations that were taking place, not only of the Trump organization, but of him directly, and basically what his relationship was and the work he was doing for the organization. Now, at the core of this lawsuit is that Michael Cohen says when these investigations occurred, the Trump organization agreed to pay all of his legal fees in July of 2017, and also to indemnify him or protect him should he, receive any criminal convictions or, fines or what have you from these investigations. His feeling is that when these investigations occurred of both Michael Cohen and the Trump organization, they were kind of working as one. So a joint defense. Basically, Michael Cohen saying, I basically am part of the organization. I'm defending the organization. I'm working for the organization. So we're together. So, if you're saying that I committed any crimes or anything like that, it's for my work during the Trump Organization. So because they were proceeding as a joint defense, or at least that's what Cohen's point of view is, the legal fees should be covered. The organization should indemnify him as part of the organization. According to Cohen, the Trump Organization was fully, agreed with this, and they were, 100% on board up until May 2018. So at May 2018, things really took a dramatic turn. To refresh everyone's memory, at that point in around May, June 2018, Cohen was under just a tremendous amount of pressure. Robert Mueller was putting a lot of pressure on him, but the other big, pressing investigation was this criminal investigation of Cohen directly by the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office. This was putting just tremendous pressure on Michael Cohen. And in June of 2018, Cohen began to tell basically anyone who would listen, but certainly his family and his friends, that he would be willing to cooperate with Special Counsel Robert Mueller and the federal prosecutors because of all the pressure that he was under, with all these multiple investigations, criminal investigations, where he realized that, he was going to be sort of, at some point, being singled out, not necessarily as Michael Cohen, part of the Trump Organization, but as Michael Cohen, an attorney, and just him individually. So that was the pressure that sort of led him to basically say, okay, I will cooperate with, the prosecutors. I'll cooperate with the Mueller investigation, to try and help me with all these investigations. That was in 2018, June 2018. Now, according to Cohen and the lawsuit, in that very same month, the Trump Organization stopped paying all of his legal bills. So, obviously, when he started to tell family and friends that he would cooperate with the Mueller investigation, the Trump Organization severed ties basically with him, and they refused to pay all of his legal bills. Now, on the other side of the lawsuit, lawyers for the Trump Organization have made, the following public statement with regards to the lawsuit. And it pretty much, it's a two-sentence statement, but it pretty much sums up their point of view and also their defense. And it basically is this: the Trump Organization doesn't owe Michael Cohen 1 penny of legal fees. This is a desperate money grab by a desperate convicted felon. That pretty much says it all. I mean, there's not too much. There's not too much left to the imagination with that statement. The organization feels that Michael Cohen, he sort of, dug himself into his own hole, and it's his responsibility to get himself out, and they have no obligation to him. They've severed all ties with him, and they were not responsible for, paying off any of his legal fees, and certainly not responsible for paying off any of his fines, all of the fines that he received. As we said before, the $1.9 million that he received when he was convicted of criminal activity. So, their feeling is, we don't owe you anything. We don't owe you any legal fees or anything along those lines. And they said that, quite frankly, they've described the lawsuit as, desperate actions by a desperate person. So, and this is just the opening salvo, the opening, opening round, if you will, of this fight. So we'll have to see where this fight, goes, and what shakes out with the lawsuit. Now, interestingly, and again, we'll really sort of have to see where this goes. But as we all know, Michael Cohen had tape recordings of Donald Trump when they met in his office. So most of them were just, normal conversations between the two. The question, of course, that begs everyone's mind is, the Trump organization says, we don't owe Michael Cohen one penny of legal fees. We didn't have any kind of agreement with him or anything like that. We did not agree to indemnify him, and we did not agree to pay all his legal bills, and we were not proceeding as any kind of joint defense. So, my question would be, well, are there tapes that say something else? Are there any, recordings, any audio recordings? Because, most of the things that Michael Cohen has said, he always comes out and says, well, I have proof. So in his testimony before Congress, he had, canceled checks. He had recordings. He had, lots of different stuff to back up some of his claims. And I think it's just going to be very, very interesting. The thing that I really want to see most of all is, are there audio recordings, or is there a paper trail? Is there something that basically contradicts this statement right here from, the lawyers for the Trump organization, where they're saying, no, Michael Cohen, we don't owe him anything. We're not going to pay his legal fees. We didn't have that agreement with him. We weren't going to indemnify him. We never told him that. So, I'm just very, very curious to see, because say what you will about Michael Cohen, but he was very cautious in his dealings with Donald Trump, and like we found out, I mean, he was recording everything. He was keeping all the checks. He was really sort of protecting himself, keeping himself protected as much as he could, during this time and during his dealings with Donald Trump. So, and the Trump organization. So it'll just be very interesting to see whether or not, at some point, Cohen is going to say, well, they're saying I'm crazy. They're saying they don't owe me any money. They're saying we never had that agreement. Well, hold on a second. Let me just pull this piece of evidence out here. Let me pull this tape recording out, or this contract, or this email, or something that, is going to sort of back up his play. So that'll be very interesting. That's the thing, I guess, that I'm sort of waiting to see, as this unfolds. But I think we have a long way to go on this. This basically, the lawsuit was just filed this past week, so still very early, and we'll have to see. But certainly an interesting turn of events, in sort of the ongoing Michael Cohen, Donald Trump saga. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Please like the video, and certainly comment down below. And if you like these kind of videos, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Okay, I appreciate you guys, and have a great day. See you in the next video.